4, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, moving on to the third set here of the round of 16 between Stats and Calm. Of course, he's going to be Fighting Spirit, the upper left-hand position in red as the Protoss player. We're going to have Stats, lower right-hand position. We're going to have Calm playing, of course, Zerg in blue, so red and blue, which is a fun internet Halo joke machinima thing series. So if some of you don't know what that is, just go Google red versus blue, and you'll know exactly what I mean. Not red and, yeah, red versus blue. Good stuff. So yeah, even Steven here, Calm just abusing Stats and wondering whether he can ride the wave there. Really just the kind of play he likes. He punishes players for going for non-standard builds, for going for something funky. He just reads them and punishes them right away. This time, of course, Stats gonna play standard, and Fighting Spirit not a map you wanna. Even if though you tried to go for one gateway next, but this is a 4-player map, so less chance of you getting spotted maybe, but still don't want to do that. Overlord actually running in straight to towards the center there for Calm, so he's just gonna run into that and hope to catch a scouting probe, which he is gonna do right now. There you go. So running north the second he spotted that scouting probe. Smart play overall from Calm. And he's going to be able to run his overall in the correct location, so he won't have to actually get a drone off the line. Going to get a scout in there, not maybe at the earliest possible second, but going to be able to, at the very least, not have to, you know, get a drone out there, waste a drone that you could have mining and give you some extra minerals, that kind of stuff. Probe me, we're going to go there. Oh my god, I got 80 minerals! I win already! That is, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sad when you think about the fact that in professional StarCraft, if you don't do a perfect split, some players already go, oh, crap, I'm going to lose, aren't I? To get a bad split off and just, oh boy. And that really can mean the difference between a loss and a win, because if one player gets in there somehow figures out that, you know, you're behind economic, you just can just either just mass up an army and win, hey. Meanwhile, Hatch should be put down there for Calm this time around, going for 9 pull, I think that was, and playing a little bit more conservative. He might have been an overpull, because yeah, I think it was actually might have been an overpull now that I think about it. So playing a little bit more conservative, overpull into Natural Expo, playing a little bit more, you know, I guess you could say safe. Yeah, I guess you could say safe. Nothing really to worry about though on this map. But he's gonna have some Zergers out there soon, and just go out there, put on some pressure. That's the whole purpose of the overpull into Expo build. Rather than going for 12 hatch, where you will have the economy a little bit earlier on, but with these overpull early Zerglings, you're going to force your opponent to put down 2 cannons instead of 1 and a gateway. You cannot. When a Zerg player goes for 12 hatch, the Protoss player can pretty much go for Nexus first, then 1 cannon, then a gateway already. Overpull, you can go 1 next, but then you have to plop down 2 cannons to keep yourself safe. So yeah, if your Zerg is back home here as well, he's already, you know, has 4 stats to put down those additional. Just spotted with over, it does see that stats has put down the additional cannon. That's enough for him. That's all he needs. Now he just needs to get rid of this pesky scouting probe so he can go do his own stuff. Gonna expand towards the 6 o'clock. So rather than picking up a corner, the lower left position, gonna instead pick up the 6 o'clock position for himself. Just to, you know, doesn't want to split himself off too far. And there's a girl really, really praying for one of your guys. Don't know which one. Could be Calm. Could be Spats, the new nickname of Stats. I don't know. But yeah, could be Stats. I have no idea. I'm not a guy who tries to guess. Oh, he's Stats, and let's see. She was this attractive, so she must be more attractive to this guy. I think no matter what you look like, if you're a Korean pro gamer, you can get laid. But yeah, meanwhile now, Stats also getting a scout, keeping that probe alive long enough to get a scout on the 6 o'clock base. So it's pretty much done most of its job. He can go get the tech, that would be amazing, but I really doubt he's going to be able to do that because speed will eventually kick in soon enough from those Zerglings, and they're going to be able to go and pick off that probe. They do seem to be leaving it alone at this point because it does seem to just be running home. 1 Zergling after it, but that's going to be it. It's going to be able to safely run home. Hydrogen up, no Spire, no Lair. So wondering whether Calm's just going to go for a Hydra bust early on, just trying to finish this, trying to abuse that front position, hope that Stats will not have the forces necessary, because if Stats doesn't read this right, doesn't spot the attack coming soon enough, he's not going to have the cannons. You need a lot of cannons at your front, and some zealots, and buildings, especially buildings to protect the cannons. 1 zealot actually going to come off the line with that probe. Leave my probe friend alone. They are our friends. Leave us alone. The only 2 cannons there at the front of defense. Little Ladoon coming in just as the Stargate is going to get finished. So Stats might be in trouble if he doesn't get the scout on all of this. He might be in a significant amount of trouble if he doesn't spot what's happening right in front of his eyes. So yeah, it could be seeing some troubleness from our resident funky players. Let's see what's going to happen here. Dragoon going to go out there, pick up an Overlord. So rather than the Corsair, the Dragoon going to handle it. And the Probe Skills did finally going to get picked off. After all this time being annoying and yeah, being alive for way too long, can finally be able to get that scout. Yeah, I think it's been like alive for like almost 5 minutes just scouting around. Finally, Corsair out there might even get a second Overlord. Meanwhile, now we're just going to see Stats go for standard play, get the Temple Archives going. While I still don't see much. Let's see, a few Zerglings there at the front there for Calm. And getting some Hydras out there. Has already 8 Hydras out there, so this is going to be a break. No air. He's going to go for this right now. And the thing is, because he has Milo the Corsair also going to get spot on that Hydra and going to spot no air in that, so that might give Stats the idea. He's going to be adding in. He's adding only 1 additional photon cannon and more at the back there. So he's going to have 5-3 to start off. Meanwhile, now the Hydra's going to get through these buildings, but there are going to be a few Zealots under Dragoon as well to help in. At the very least, Stats going to try to pick up Overlord, so the reinforcements will come in as quickly. But I'm going to go for this. He's going to be able to do this. Zerglings coming in with some of those Hydras, but 3 Zealots still alive, and those cannons forcing back. Only 5 Hydras with a Zergling there. Calm doesn't look like it to be at his best. Instead of reinforcing with his Hydras being forced to attack, that Corsair is just trying to do some splash damage to those Overlords, trying to pick up some Overlords because he knows, Stats knows, he managed to hold off, pick off some Overlords, and just with that, Calm is not going to be able to reinforced constantly. Has a couple of Corsairs out there desperately trying to pick up some Overlords, but only cannons at this point with 3 Zealots, and they're desperately trying to pick off these Hydras, force them back. Not enough cannons at all. Probe's going to be forced to come offline. Gonna have to engage as well. Try to hold these Hydras off. Not that many Hydras out there for Calm, but he's reinforcing constantly, so Stats still just needs to desperately get some more cannons up there. I think he might have a forge inside of his main. That's why I was putting down more cannons, just trying to blockade and hold off, but still not in the best position. Calm is losing a lot of his Overlords though, so if Stats manages to hold this off, has a DT out there, that might be just it. Overlord trying to come in position, but this DT is going to hold off these Hydras. Just this DT. 1 Overlord is running into position, but the Corsair's almost managing to pick it off. Still going to go for a run in that 1 DT, 1 critical DT out there with no speed on the Overlords. 1 DT holding back off, giving Stats just that breather that he needs to put up additional cannons to get his defenses going. And, oh man, Laird meanwhile now up there. Laird meanwhile up there for Calm, so if he transitions into Lurkers or even into Mutas, either one of those positions, even though Mutas probably be a better position guy, I just don't see Stats defending against either of those. But doesn't really have much in the way of troops at all. Some Escort are going to go down. Few photon cannons going to come up. One of them going to be cancelled. So I think there's 5 or 6 of them at the front. 2 High Templar at the back. So Storms are going to be in there. And 1 Dark Templar is also. Stats he's going to be able to hold off without taking too much economic damage. He's lost some buildings though. Core has gone down. Gateway's gone down. And lost a few pylons and some cannons. But of course, this entire time being this aggressive has of course cost Calm some economy. As you saw, the 6-star position doesn't really have much in the way of saturation. Hydra's going to go for this. 3 High Templar and the 4 High Templar. Is he going to be able to get a Storm off? DT going to go in there. Is an Overlord in position that's still alive. Where are the Storm? My DT going to go down. Probe's going to come offline. Where is the Storm? He just needs a few Storms. All the cannons going to go down. Where is the Storm on the High Templar? Stats GG's. He has no Storm on his High Templar. Calm getting in there just before the Storms, just before Stats can have some Storms, and barely eking out the victory there. If the game had gone on for longer, I do not know what would have happened. Stats still might have gotten back into the game. So, but hey, Calm gonna manage to get himself into the round of 8 of this tournament. Gonna be interesting to see him in a best of 5 yet again, whoever he faces off against. Looking forward to this. Just a few more players to decide, and then we're going to have some quarterfinals. Did you guys range it? Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed.